the first time someone said, "Can you butt me?" I was like, "Fuck off, it's so gay."
Right.
And then I was like,
that's the point.
maybe I should try it, And then I was like, he looks like he's having fun. Maybe I should get butt.
Yo, you got a treasure trove up your ass.
I did, and I was like, wait a minute, you can have multiple orgasms from getting things in your butt.
Yep.
Dudes,
Welcome, Jason.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm
Welcome.
not giving this up. I'm in. Like, I'm gonna be a butt fucking maniac.
I was hanging out with a bunch of guys for like an hour at a bar and didn't realize that my lipstick was so smeared. My bright red lipstick.
yeah.
I looked like I fucking just got done sucking a guy's dick in a Chevy.
I was gonna say that's so hot though.
Men never tell about
Oh,
the
is that why they didn't say anything? Wait, that's hot? How is that hot? I thought that's sloppy.
Because you suck dick so hard that your lipstick came off, and
But
who
it
knows,
really was
maybe
just
I'm
me
next.
going.
I'm not thinking about. I'm not using my brain. I'm using my penis with that idea. Like I was like,
okay.
oh, it's smudge. Well, what'd you get up to?
Wow.
Tell me some more about what's going on. I'm just trying to be
Maybe
honest.
that's why they didn't say anything. I never thought that was even a thought that would happen.
They thought they were next.
Men are so
Gross,
they're like
stupid.
not mysterious, but like that I never would have
Yeah, I
thought.
know.
Never would have thought.
I live in it.
Wow.
I have to hear it.
And you seem to be evolving a lot.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
It's like my addiction voice and my chauvinistic voice. Now I have my own voice inside there, but it's still, those guys are all
Like
still in
celebrity
here.
death matching
Yeah,
each other.
so I hear them all the time say stuff, and I'm like, shut the fuck, no.
Yeah. And
Like,
that
absolutely not.
talking back to the voices, that's being an adult. So like
Yeah.
that's being like an actualized human being that can be in the world. Like
Yeah, I learned that from my addiction, where it's like, man, it's you suck. You should probably get a drink, and I'm like, shut up. You know what I mean? Or you're fat. Don't go to the gym. It's not worth it anymore anyway. And I'm like, no, you don't get to win.
Yeah, that's good. That's amazing. We were talking before the mics were recording. We're here with Jason Ellis. You have so many hats.
We're on?
And we'll talk about all the hats that you wear. Not
one today.
literally and metaphorically. But you said something very interesting that sparked a story in my head. You didn't realize, you wouldn't have been able to point out when men are talking down to women until recently, or like more recent in your evolution.
Recent, yeah.
And you talked about an incident where somebody was talking down to a woman in front of you, and you're like, what the fuck? That happens when we had the super, when we were moving out of our old place.
Yeah.
My boyfriend came with me because the super was an asshole, and I was like, I lose my shit. I will lose my temper. I have the temper of a man with a problem. And I was like, you need to come with me because I don't want to. I'm gonna lose it on him. And so he was talking to the super, my boyfriend, and then the super was talking to me, and the tone shift, and my boyfriend was like, you're talking differently to me.
Yep.
Do you know that? And he was like 75, so maybe it's just an ingrained thing, but like.
Yeah.
So maybe
Wow.
so the moral of the story is maybe he's never talked nicely to a woman.
I don't think so.
That's
But, like,
probably what, yeah.
switch
that sounds
happened.
about right.
Everyone's just like, it's a time thing. We didn't respect whores back in the day.
Truly, women aren't human
They
to
were good
people
for
like
two
that.
I've been
things.
disrespecting hoes for so long that I don't think I need to change.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
right.
kind of what that is.
Yeah, we're just gonna ride this one till the end. All right.
I always wonder though, like, does porn, like, if guys consume porn often, like straight men, does it change the way they look at women? Like, are women just walking holes?
See, a lot of people say that, but I don't. Like,
Okay.
I don't know, but I think I'm definitely odd. So maybe if you're kind of, because I'm starting to realize that a lot of people are really dumb. Like I thought that maybe
So
there
true.
was more in us in general. Like most of us had the chance to light up and do something, but it seems like not most, but a lot of people are screwed. And they're not even trying to get out of it. They don't even know that they're trapped in a bubble of dumb.
Well, did you
Yeah.
see that there was like a report not too long ago that most people don't engage in what one would define as critical thinking. So most
Yeah.
people are just, as the Seinfeld joke goes, walking around, looking around.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying, but it explains a lot.
I think people have the intelligence in them. They're just too lazy to get it.
I think most, no one's inspired. No one, if you're not close to somebody that's doing it, then it
need an
can't
example.
rub off on you.
Yep.
And if you're only in a group of people that are just like, what's on my phone? Postmates, Fox News, phone, Postmates.
Go
like,
to
you
the
know what?
gym.
I'm too fat to fuck anymore. Like, I don't need it. I'll just get another Postmate. Like,
Right.
And everyone's like, I agree. Like, I mean, like, let's all get Postmates and beer. And then it's just like, and then you know what? Every now and then let's have a kid. And that thing's just like,
You're egging on the sloth.
beer, Fox. You know what I mean? And
I don't
they're-
love the attack on Postmates, but other than
I love Postmates. My fight is to get because I got divorced and stuff, so I don't have like as much money as I used to.
Damn,
and I used to be a
blows.
Postmates hoe. And
Wow,
now I'm
she took
single.
everything,
You can't
including the
Postmates.
Postmates.
She got your Postmates money.
Well, I
That's
pay
nice.
her, so I don't have Postmates anymore because that's how much my Postmates used to cost me a lot. I was really hard. And now that I'm single, very tempting to just be like, Postmates. But now I cook and I can't cook, which I went through a little bit of a depression getting divorced. Like, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But I got
divorce
out of
has
it
gotta
pretty
be-
quick. But at one point, it was like, I'm home by myself and I cook stuff that's depressing.
Like what?
And I'm already depressed. I'm like having a really bad grilled cheese,
Can't
and I'm
mix
like,
mac and cheese
this
right.
might be the end for you, dude. Like, you're useless. And then I catch him like, nah, that's addictive voice guy saying I'm bad again. I'm like, you get out of it. You can do it. Like, you can get some food going, and I figured out a couple of meals that I don't hate.
Yeah, there you go.
And then
Pick
things
yourself
seem to
up.
be working out a little bit, so now I can afford Postmates. Not a lot,
so
but like
glad
every
you
now and
are.
then I can get like some tacos. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That's
That's a
nice.
highlight. Yeah.
Good.
So wait, do you have children?
Yeah, too.
Oh, two. Okay, so
18 and 15.
When you pay, I always thought. I mean, women get the short end of the stick in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but not that one.
Yeah, but it's. I'm like,
They do.
what does if the woman
Gotta get a prenup.
For the record, I
you
don't
look
get
like Adele, no Postmates.
I don't get. I'm like the Beatles guy. I don't. If I love you, I love you. And like if I get a prenup, that means I think I'm going to break up with you.
No.
So I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
that
And I don't
shit
care about money.
changes.
I care about love.
Well, you do when you want that
the
Postmates.
thing-
and you
I don't
can't
have
get
any
it.
money. I don't have any money. I don't care.
But the thing is, like,
I was a millionaire.
I
and
want you
was
to have
more
Postmates.
depressed than I was now.
right, I agree with what you're saying in theory. Like, I like that it's like preparing to break up. But the thing is, like, if you're entering into marriage anyway, it's a contractual agreement. So if you're okay with that, you should be okay with the part that's like safe for yourself.
Good
I am
point.
very, very pro prenup. And just in case you get married again, you can also do
not.
a post-nup.
I'm not.
But was I crazy? Did you or did you not recently like get engaged to someone else, or was I hallucinating?
No.
Okay, this is you.
He looks
you've-
terrified.
Okay, I thought there was.
fucking hope not.
Yeah, that would be. If I woke
Well,
up
and
to
I thought
that
it was
was
already
real, I
off,
would
yeah.
be like, okay.
Okay,
Someone give him
Somebody,
cocaine
you
water.
can shoot me now, or you can throw me off a building. It doesn't. I don't need to be here. I've got a bad intention. I want to ruin myself.
Maybe this was like one of those
Oh,
things where like an
Alex.
old Instagram post like pops up as if it's a new one or something. I don't know what the
Okay,
heck
yeah.
happened. So there's only been one wife and one divorce, and that's
No. I've been
There's two divorces,
There's
right?
two
three.
three.
Oh.
This is
Oh,
my
okay.
this is my
Silly.
third divorce.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's
How-
why I know.
Do you pay
that
all those ex-wives?
Oh yeah.
That blows.
I
That's not fair.
gave a little one at the start, well, not for very long, and I didn't have a lot of money, but I gave her half for half the relationship. She used to beat me up. So that one was like weird.
Why did you give her money? That's fucked up.
How did she beat you up? Also,
Yeah, how do you're a big guy?
Well, because I'm a big guy, but I don't hit women.
so you can't fight back. Okay.
if a
Yeah, so
woman's
it used to be
hitting you-
no, I don't care, especially when you're way bigger. And I can take a lot, and she knew it. But she was a bit of a kickboxer, and her mom was a bit of a gang kind of person. So she grew up rough and had like a switch where she clicked
Australian love
and
story.
get very violent. Yeah, Australian. And I used to smoke weed, and it was weird. When we met, I took a bunch of drugs. I was drunk all the time, but then she
Right.
wanted me to be sober, and I kept smoking
Not.
weed. Every now and then I'm a pro skateboarder. I'd go smoke weed with my friends, come back, put eye drops in, and she'd be like, "You high?" And I'm like, "No."
Oh, okay. So
And
there,
then-
that was already like
Lying
a
to mommy.
weird.
I'm a real bad liar too. Like
Right.
I know now. I just go, yeah, I did it,
Same,
because I
yeah.
know that if I go, no, I didn't. Like my face just says that I did, and I'm done
You
anyway.
feel like you're 3 years old.
My daughter has the same thing. She's like, no, I didn't, or she looks away. I'm like, what'd you look away for when I said that?
Game
And
recognized
it's
game,
like,
motherfucker.
I don't, because I wanted to. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
you're fucking lying. I
Yeah.
know you're lying.
Yeah.
But so that one was. I got beat up, and I used to tell people, and they would just laugh. And I thought they just thought that wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But it turns out nobody believed me,
Oh no,
So-
women definitely beat men up.
because she was really hot and little and cute, and she used to talk like a baby sometimes. So yeah.
Huh?
Anyway,
Oh, Jason, you're
not
so
to me,
cute.
but to like she'd say things to dogs and stuff where she was just she had like a little
Talking
baby
like a
voice.
baby. Okay, wait. Talking like a baby to a dog is normal, but that's fine.
Did she talk like a baby to you?
Yeah.
No.
Look at your little hat.
Talking like a baby in other situations, not normal.
Come on, Jason, fuck me.
Oh God, I hate baby
I
voice.
might have been into that. That's
Sorry.
weird.
Really?
No, but one time, yeah. I want to do everything one
Why
time.
you wanna do everything once? Okay.
Have you done something that you're like, nah, never again?
And also, I feel like maybe for like clips, you want to say, I want to do almost everything once,
Yeah.
just for
I don't want to eat shit.
and other things too. Yeah, that's
I-
not even the worst of it.
What else is
poop.
what's
Like fucking, you know, pedophilia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's either in here or it's not.
Okay, I didn't even. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't want. Okay.
He didn't even think of it.
He's not a pedophile, but it didn't even cross his mind.
That was actually the Guys We Fcked pedophile test. We ever
You
just.
pass.
Oh my God! Get me out of here! I'm talking about adult stuff.
We're defending you, man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Pedophilia is adult stuff for half the party.
Yeah, okay, as a person that's been raped a bunch of times, I'm not. I guess you go one way or the other. I
Right.
went the other.
Okay, good.
Like if you rape
Good.
kids, I kill you.
Nice.
That's my motto.
Yeah,
Right.
Like,
Gotcha.
Good
You
Okay.
don't. If
E
you
pluribus
rape kids and you're in my if I
Vicinity.
can get you,
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
I
you're
will
getting
end
it.
you. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to jail. Why? Because the raper guy was right next to me.
Yeah.
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, what's wrong with you? Anybody that's near them, kill them.
I just read that Larry Nassar, that gymnast who assaulted,
Yeah, he got stabbed.
He got
Yeah.
stabbed and is
Yeah.
in critical condition, and I was like,
Should've
it's
stabbed
really
him a bit
shitty,
more.
but I'm so happy that happened because boy, I watched those testimonies.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
guy
feel
sucks.
sorry for him
those
at all.
girls suffered.
But anyway, I came home one day and I was living with another skateboarder. And
Hell yeah.
And I came laid on my stomach and started playing video games in the living room with my buddy. And she comes in and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I had sunglasses on, so I didn't have any eye drops.
I feel like Bart Simpson.
And I'm playing on my back. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm playing video games." She's like, "Why you got sunglasses on?" I was like, "I don't know, just playing video games with sunglasses on." She's like, "Take your fucking sunglasses off and show me your eyes." And I'm like, "There, are you happy?" And then I put them back on and started playing video games, and I guess my eyes were bloodshot. So she comes over and just starts foot stomping me in the back of the head.
Oh my God, that's terrible, Jason.
Yeah, and I remember watching my friend's feet run up the stairs to his room as my head was bouncing off the ground with her kicking it.
Damn.
Way to be an ally
So
there.
he was like, "Dude, that's not cool." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right.
It's
she
not
should go
cool.
to anger management." And then I think she went to one. And then I was on DC, shoes and stuff, was still a skateboarder. And the whole team got flown to Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
And we all had rooms next to each other. And I went to a signing and I was supposed to be back by midnight. But instead, I was back at 2 because I got drunk after the signing and danced on the dance floor like an asshole.
Sure.
So I come back in the room and she's like, "What are you fucking doing? It's 2 a.m. I was like, and I don't usually do this, but I slipped. I was drunk. I was like, fuck off. Because I was drunk.
That's what you
I think
said
saying
to the...
fuck off is fine.
Also, like, I went to dance with friends because last time you kicked me in the head.
Well, I wasn't
That's
thinking
fair.
that. There was
That's
like
fair.
a gap between those things. But
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, I didn't even have my eyes open. And she ran up and kicked me in the nuts.
oh.
And dropped me to my knees. And then she kicked me in the face. And I've been knocked out a lot. I've had a lot of concussions, so I know what it's like. So as soon as she kicked me, I hear the warm, fuzzy sound.
Ooh.
Like the room, it's like, I can't really see.
Oh, God.
And then I start to come back. And as I'm coming back, she's got me by the hair.
Ooh.
Punching me. I had hair. Punching me over and over again. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then she stops. And then I go in the living room and I sit on there and I go turn on the TV. And she goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm sleeping on the couch, gonna watch TV." "Get the fuck in the bedroom." And I'm like, "Okay." And like,
Damn.
I already analyzed this now that I'm me and was like, wait, she said get the fuck in the bedroom and you did?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I go to sleep. I wake up. My pillow's covered in blood. Like, I got pretty fucked up.
Oh, no.
I go to get in the bus to go to the mountain the next day, and this photographer for DC, really nice guy. I never liked him because he wasn't a skateboarder.
Great guy, but I fucking hated him.
Well, I knew he was like a normal guy.
Right.
And
Okay.
I don't like back then. I
Back then, you're
don't
like,
like
"You don't
normal
wanna
people.
me."
Like, you don't
Right.
fucking skate, dude. Don't talk to me.
Right.
It was I'm not saying it's right. I'm just
It's a young
being
guy move.
That's what I was like.
It's like a guy who thought skateboarding was a crime.
He goes,
Or
he goes, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And takes me off to the side. And he goes, "Hey, man, I'm in the room next to you. I heard what happened last night. I know you're a big guy, but that's bullshit, dude.
Yeah, it's abuse.
You need to leave her." And I was like, "Leave her?" And he was like, "Yes. Like,
Wow.
wake up, man. Like, that's fucking abuse. Like, if it's the other way around, the cops should come. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need out of there." And then I
What a bro.
told her I just knew I didn't think he liked me either because I was such a dick. And I was like, this guy's just saying it because that's what it is.
Yeah, he's
And
giving
then-
you the truth.
and
And
then I
it's
left her.
interesting. Like, abused partners, regardless of the gender, like, have the same thought patterns of, like,
Yeah.
not even considering leaving a place that from the outside is so obvious. Why wouldn't you leave?
I was
That's
pretty
insane.
sure I was so annoying that I deserved it.
Yeah.
That's what because I was like,
yeah.
you did things. You know what I mean? Like, you look at my phone, you text somebody, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like some Olympic gymnast was into me at X Games, and she was
That's
like
fun.
some Russian. You know what I mean? She was like, "I cannot go. My coach is coming," and I'm like, "What
Great
the
Russian
fuck is happening?" Like this, she's a coach who won't let me see her, so I was into her, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then I got caught
you-
texting her.
When you divorced her, you were married to this woman, right?
Yeah.
And
For
you
how many
paid
years?
her money after
Yeah, I
that?
still paid her money, but it wasn't we're only married for 3 years, so I just
Okay.
paid her a year and a half. And then I was like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to. I'm not a good. I'm very annoying, so I don't want to have a relationship. So then I had a girlfriend that we just played video games and had we had a lot of fun. And then she got pregnant and was like, I want to have the kid. And I was raised to, I was like, well, if that's what you want to do, I'll do everything I can to support it. You know me, and you know that I'm probably going to be a bad dad.
What made you say that?
Because I'm irresponsible. I was a child. I was doing
Yeah.
coke. I had like an 8-ball under my seat.
A lot of parents do coke.
Okay, well,
Well, how old were you at
know
this
someone.
time?
like
He's gonna be like,
28,
okay.
30.
I
some-
thought you were saying
young,
like
Jason.
35 or something. Be like, I was just a boy.
But 28 is still.
I was old enough.
Your brain's fully developed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
know I was still living like a child. So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
that happened, I grew up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
stopped doing hard drugs.
Nice.
Because I was scared to be a bad parent.
Yeah.
And then I copied
Dad of the year.
She had parents that were good parents.
Right.
Nice.
So we lived with them at one point.
Oh, that's good. Help.
And I copied them, and I learned how to be a parent through all three of them.
You need a role.
Just
You need
watching
an example.
them, like how
Yeah.
you do this, how you do that, and then over the years, because my parents were man, I don't want to say it. But
They
my
tried
dad
their
had a
best.
really bad temper.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So there was like, you would get hit or you get yelled at for like little things, and made me flinchy and scared of confrontation.
Yep.
And that's in me. You know what I mean? If you rub me the wrong way, I can explode.
Yeah,
so
I
I've
was
been
gonna
going
ask
to
if you had a
therapy
temper.
and all that stuff. And I've been working on myself really hard to
Yeah.
try to not be that guy, because I'm awake now. And when that guy shows up, I regret him so much. Like even when I talk, when I get angry, I talk like my dad. I sound more Australian. I say cunt a lot, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's dangerous. Like when I start saying cunt, if you want to go, like I meet someone that's like me, we're gonna have a straight on, like a full on brawl.
If it gets to
and
that
it's
level.
embarrassing to know that I could go there. So I'm really, you know what I mean? If people, my son taught me a lot. He's helped me a lot because of my road rage. One time a guy was yelling at a lady at a light, and I opened the door and I was like, "Hey, get your fucking head back in the car, cunt, or I'll knock it off." And he was like, "Fuck you." And I was like, "Oh, yeah?" And I went to get out of the car, and my son was in the back, and he started crying. And he was like, "Dad, please get back in the car." And I've been in fights with my dad in a car where he fought a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And I was in the car screaming, crying, except he fought them all at every
Yeah.
light for like half an hour. People in
Whoa.
other cars were like, "Stop, it's a kid in the car." And my dad just kept fighting these 4 guys until he worked them.
Whoa.
So I caught his face, and it all flashed back, and I was like, "Oh my God," and just got
Yeah.
back in the
Cycle.
car, and I was like, "I will never do that again, dude. Your dad's got a temper, you know what I mean, and I'm going to work on it." And I broke it down to him. And then maybe a year or 2 later of going to therapy and stuff, somebody cut me off. And I was like, "Hey, fucker." And he's like, "Fuck you, bitch." And I went, and I started rolling, and my son in the back goes, "Nice, Dad."
Oh,
And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "That was real. I saw that. Like, that dude needed to be checked. And you didn't, Dad. Like, good, it's working." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, dude." And then my daughter was also like, "Yeah, good one."
Oh,
and I
that's
remember,
so good.
positive
I was like, "There you go."
reinforcement. Yeah.
It's a lot of energy to stop the cycle.
yeah.
It's a lot of work, but like I imagine seeing the little boy in your son's eyes.
That's what it did. Yeah.
That's a time warp for like, okay, not even a question. I gotta stop this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I nipped that.
Are your parents still alive?
Nah, my dad's dead. My mum's still alive. She just had a stroke the other day. She's going to come see me in October. I haven't seen her
no.
for over 10 years.
Wow.
Because I went on a Stern show, talked about my molestation stuff. I wasn't really sure. Like when I was 27, I took a bunch of acid and a bunch of meth after a demo, and then I was at a pool party, and the pool was closed, and nobody could get me out. So I would like hiss at people if they tried to touch me.
Oh, okay.
Like I'd
Meth
gone.
man.
Yeah. So everyone was scared, and my girlfriend at the time was like, "I'll watch him." So then everybody was like, cool, see ya. And they left me there in the hotel pool while she watched me talk to an invisible person. And the invisible person told me that I was molested by my father. And I was in shock and crying and talking to this invisible person while my girlfriend was watching the whole thing.
Wow.
And then the next day when I woke up, I remembered it a little bit, like pieces of it. And then my girlfriend at the time called my mother because my father, I think, had already – no, he hadn't. No, he was alive. She said, oh, God, I thought he forgot that.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like – my girlfriend tells me that in the morning, and I'm like, wait, what?
She thought that it had been resolved by you forgetting that you were molested?
That's what she told my girlfriend at the time.
Woo. Okay, well, that at
such
least gives you confirmation that these, you couldn't go, am I crazy if you tried?
That was when I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
because I would never have thought that I was that guy at all. Like, no one told me that, and I don't remember that. And I'm 27. Thought I'd figured out that.
I
wasn't aware of the scarring of how a brain can hide stuff because you can't handle it.
Survival.
Because that's what I thought. I think it's that. I think by the time I was 27, I was like, I'll give you a little bit, but I'm not going to give it to you all. And then when I was 40, so like I heard that, I knew that. And I remember saying, it's my father. And then my mum goes, no, you thought it was your dad, but it was the neighbor. It was my neighbor. He babysitted you and he had red hair. So we kind of figured out that it was him, not your father. And I was like, well, what did dad do to that guy? Because I've seen my dad smash people, like end them for little things. Like he had a temper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did he kill him? And he's like, no, he warned him.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, what?
Huh.
And then I go back to my dad's house and I see him in the morning and he's like, how's it going? I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. And he's like, you think you got molested? I go, yeah. He goes, you think it was me? And I go, nah. And he goes, oh, okay. And then that's it. We never spoke about it ever again.
Wow.
And my dad was not good at sharing emotion. Like he never said he loved me or anything. I knew he did, but he just couldn't do it. When the first time I got married at the wedding, he said he was proud of me in the speech. And that made us fighting tears so fucking hard because that's the nicest thing. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, poor me. It was just like he couldn't do it. He couldn't get it out. He was built different. Like he was raised in a way where it was just like, I feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for all those people.
Because when you have a moment like that where you're experiencing genuine love between a father and son and you realize you've never experienced that before with your own father, you're like, oh, wow. Something so simple is so beautiful. Yeah.
I'm trying to show him that I'm worth something.
Wow. And he passed away. Damn.
Yeah, so he died. And then when I was 40, I got married to my second wife. And we had 2 kids, and then I had a life coach who said, because I was like, I think I'm going to cheat. Like I was talking to trans girls, and I was like, I'm definitely not straight. Like something's up, because I'm doing everything in my power not to sleep with these trans girls that I know. Yeah. But I'm going to crack. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And he was like, you need to sit her down, tell her that. That'll make it easy for her to leave you. And also, if you tell her that before you do it, then she doesn't have a reason to flip out and make your life hell because, trust me, divorce with kids, she can wreck you. And I was like, okay. So we sat down and I told her and she was like, okay, bye. And then because I'm so used to a woman in my life, like because I didn't have a lot of people around, I didn't discover this then, but now I know. Like I'm a baby. I want someone to take care of me. So... because I don't know how to take care of myself.
Straight man of you.
Yeah, no, I was like, this is very straight man.
That's just what I thought, you know? Like, well, how am I going to feed myself? It's like, dude, you came to America when you were 17. Like,
that ain't nothing.
You can do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I could. So then I regretted it, wanted her back. Oh. Went through hell because of that.
Did you say I take it back? I don't want to fuck trans women? Or did you...
No. I think... Well, because then I went to rehab and then I did like some hypnosis stuff.
Ooh.
And that's when I realized this is bad. I mean, it was good.
I've had it.
What was the hypnosis supposed to do for you? What was the intention?
I thought it was going to be about my brother died in like a really bad accident. And it was like something that like that was the person that I was most connected to in Australia.
Fuck, so strong.
And he was going to come to America and then I would try, he would drink and I got him sober and he was on the right track, and then like all these people partied and they stole a fucking steamroller I have a house in the mountains, and they hot wired a steamroller, and 2 of them were in it, and the others were in the car. Oh my god! And I think my my brother was on the front and this guy was driving, but then the car drove off and they were like, where'd the steamroller go? And they come back and it's gone. They went off the cliff because they were knocking poles off on the side of the road.
Oh my God.
And instead of the pole tipping, it bent and the steamroller went and rolled off.
Oh my God.
And broke his neck, died instantly. He's 24. Like,
and he was on the right track.
And I'm like, wait, what? Like I was about to go home for Christmas. And my father died like the year before on the pedaling up to the top of that mountain, trying to show my other brother that he can do anything he can do. Which
holy shit, Jason.
So he died on the top of the mountain. So now I'm back on this fucking hill again, burying another fucking relative in the same year, and it's just like it's my other brother's shattering because those two are like both full brothers. That's my half brother, and I moved over here. Like I was always trying to get out. I never made any sense in that family. That's why I don't blame my stepmom for not being the hugest fan of me because I was fucked. I was like crazy and probably rubbing my brothers like they were influenced in a bad way. But I also don't want to take full responsibility because I got my crazy from my dad, and he was in the same fucking house. So.
Right.
I was just
I like the crazy when it's your father, but not when it's you.
Yeah, but I understood her angle. It's like you're not even, you know what I mean, if you went back to your mum's, I could have this family, you know what I mean, with these two great kids with no scars because they're unscarred and make it work.
So what did this hypnosis reveal to you? Because you thought it was going to be about your brother's death.
Yeah, but instead it was about the molestation and who did it and the face and the dick.
So did you? I did hypnotherapy to recover molestation memories that I was like, I don't know if this is true or not. And the memories came clear. They were pretty clear. And the one of the incidences, I was like, I don't know who this guy is. I just know like generally what he is. But I was able to successfully disassociate from the memory. So I almost watched myself experience it, but I wasn't like upset, which I was kind of shocked by because I'm a very emotional person. Did it also happen with you?
A little bit, but no, it was still scared. But that's when I had another vision of being in another house when we were doing a little bit. My father started to make some money and I had my own bedroom. And there was a heat lamp that would come into my room. It was like a big circle, like the orange glowy thing. And I was under the bed holding onto the mattress strings with my fingers and my toes. So I pulled myself off the ground. So I was like under the mattress holding onto it. And I was like, who is that? And why am I so scared of it?
Right.
But I felt like it was my father, but I didn't know.
Right.
Then, because I'm trying to fix myself. So then I did MDMA therapy. With the doctor.
Yep.
And that was the worst thing ever because, well, it was good, but just to
Reliving
know
that
that it
shit's
was
tough.
him and the things that happened to me, it's just so fucked. It's just not right, you know? Like, I don't know why anybody would do that to anybody, but in the end, I remember holding onto the springs and the lamp got right over to me and I was like, please stop. And then the lamp went away. And then my mind followed the lamp back to the bedroom where he realized what he was doing was hurting me.
Okay, so
and
you got to see that.
I felt like he didn't know he was hurting me until right then when I said stop. That's what I came up with, which is also like I want this not to be real.
Right.
I know.
You know, like my other brother doesn't really. We don't talk anymore. Like we talk a little bit, but
Because of this?
yeah, because he was like, no, he didn't. And
But
I was
he
like,
wasn't there.
I'm like, you don't even know anything about Dad. Like,
Yeah.
And he's a different
did you know
dad.
that he was doing live sex shows before he died? Like, none of you know this. I fucking know because I was older, and the guy that worked with him told me after he died because he was a cheater.
Right.
And then he finally cleared it up. But it turns out when he finally cleared it up, he wasn't cleared up at all. He was doing he owned like half a sex shop or something. He was doing.
It sounds like he might have been molested too, and he's hypersexual.
His
That
dad
temper will do it.
tried to bang my auntie. So.
Oh, so he hit you. So your grandfather molested his daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, so
she wouldn't be surprised that she did it to Dad too.
Right.
Yeah.
But because my grandfather, before he passed away, he transitioned to a lady. And I remember when I came back from America one time, my dad picked me up at the airport and he goes, guess what fucking jock is now? And I'm like, that's my granddad's name. I'm like, what? He's like, fucking woman. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, fucking tranny. And I'm like, oh, whoa, crazy. I'm like, why are you angry about it? And he's like, can you believe it? And I'm like, yeah. But I mean, why are you mad?
Right.
Like I was so confused as to why I'm like, I still would talk to Jock. Like
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
her name is now, I
Yeah.
would talk to her.
Sure.
Like I don't understand. Still my granddad. Like
Well,
I never had that hate. You know.
Well, I wonder though
Right.
if your dad was molested by.
I don't know, but I would bet on it because Jock was a weird guy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be saying names, but whatever.
It's
they don't like me anymore. I don't know. I feel bad about it.
The thing is, though, it's wild. Like doing this podcast for over a decade, molestation is so prevalent, and you got to talk about it. Like if it's happened to anybody on the show, like I would, obviously don't if you don't feel comfortable. But if you do, I think that's a gift because it's wild. How
You gotta
common
get it
is.
out.
Everybody, and like
I mean,
my
if it's
mom-
happened to you, you've got to face it. That was
Yeah.
the same with the ayahuasca. It just wouldn't let me.
you can't run from it.
I couldn't run from it. It just kept showing me the worst parts, and I was like, "Stop it!" And it was like, "We're not stopping. Like
Yep.
we're going to keep showing you this until you accept it."
Yeah, and you feel for that little boy who was hurt on a
Yeah.
level that is
Which
incomprehensible.
brings so much anger.
Right, and I was going to say that's where the temper comes from
Yeah.
because you're so mad that little boy had to go through that.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember the first time I realized it happened, I had that urge to just fucking kill everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you need to find another way
Right.
to get this out because you're going to ruin your whole life. You know,
Yeah.
and at 40, I felt like I'd already done it all. And I'm like, I feel like I'm 12. I have like a 12-year-old's like rage.
Yep.
You know, and I'm like, I have like 2 kids, an ex-wife. I have a business to run, and I'm about to fucking lose it.
Blow it all up.
And I really was like desperate for help, and that's when I was like, I'll take anything. I remember being so scared of ayahuasca, I didn't want to do it at all.
Yeah, that's
But
my next. I want to do that.
I
want
just
to do
had to.
Boga or
I had to
ayahuasca.
I had to do everything I could to get happy.
Yeah.
Where did you do it in like Peru or did you do it?
No, I had somebody from Peru come to my house for 3 days.
Oh wow.
So it was
3
just me
days.
by myself.
Did
like
you
a
only
private
do
shaman experience.
Did you do it once or did you do it with the integration?
3 days in a row.
Well, 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was that? How did you feel after?
Good. I mean, it's not like, you know, I mean, all of a sudden I come out of it and I'm like, I'm fixed.
Right.
Yeah, of
The
course.
medicine stays in you. So to me, it's like a voice
Yeah.
where the decisions you make or the reactions you have to things, it tells you why you're doing it and kind of like slows you down. Like you're doing this because of your childhood. You know what I mean? Like this person is not your father. This person just cut you off, or you know, like it's not the same person. You're going from 1 to fucking 11
Because you're
because
still seeking justice.
because you're ready to go to 11 at all costs. You want to go to 11. You're living in it. So it just made me realize how angry I am and how I need to get it out. You know,
Yeah.
but
What do you do for fun?
fuck.
Because you're sober.
Yeah. Well, I smoke weed all the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah.
LA sober.
Yeah, don't say that, please. I really like Los Angeles, but that one's bad.
Well,
that.
Because it's not like LA is the only people that do that. Everybody,
No.
look, if you drink, you get messy. You feel like shit. You're hungover. You can't go to the gym the next
yeah.
day.
Weed is
if
not
you take
destructive.
shrooms, you're kind of enlightened. If you take a lot, you kind of laugh and giggle. If you take a lot, then you fucking go to another dimension. You wake up like kind of smarter.
Yeah.
It's never really bad.
Oh no,
And then weed is like, you know what I mean? Don't
you just eat.
don't do stupid. Like, don't get angry. Like, I don't get angry.
Oh, totally, for
You
sure.
know, I'm
Weed
like,
is-
fucking, you have it. You know?
Stoners are sharers. You don't
Yeah.
get mad. Like I had a year of being violently suicidal, and like what saved me was smoking weed in the morning, which I
Right.
never did. But I'm like, thank God that this drug exists and I have access to it because it just makes me go, just fucking relax.
That's what I do.
Like yeah.
It just helps.
Yeah, I'm a fan of LA
It makes
sober.
me nice to people.
Yeah.
Or not, more understanding. I like, hi, Jason.
So how do you seek out pleasure sexually now versus before all of these?
Yeah, that's a good question because thanks to therapy, there was a time there where when I started doing gay stuff, and my wife showed me the Grindr app, and then
She showed it to you as like to egg you on, like
Yeah,
"Oh, you want
that's
to-"
how I came out because of her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when I first met her, I was definitely not interested in being married to anybody because I was paying my ex like more money than
So wait, is this a second wife or the third wife?
third wife.
Third wife. Okay.
And she was like crazy tattoo chick, and she taught me about blood play She like slashed my arms with razor blades and
very
suck
into
on the
that,
blood
yeah.
and then spit it all over me. And
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this chick is evil. Like, this is so cool. You know what I mean? She seemed crazy.
Yeah.
So I was really into it. And then I had a calendar of trans girls because one of the trans girls on my show gave it to me.
Yeah.
And she goes, what's this? And I'm like, that's a calendar. She said, are you into this? And I'm like, maybe. And she was like, really? And in a way where it was not like really.
Like,
it was
ooh,
like,
that's kind of hot.
really? Yeah.
Let's unpack
and I'm
this.
like, yeah. And she's like, will you fuck him? And I was like, yep. And she said, would you fuck a guy? And I was like, yep. She's like, that's so hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so hot.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we can hang out. you know?
Yeah. Let's get married.
And then she kind of pushed it on me. And then she had a few friends that knew. And then I had like a little community of where Jason could talk about getting sucked off by a guy.
You could be yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody made fun of me.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like this ain't so
could be
bad.
yourself.
And it also made me feel like I got something off me. Like I was like,
yeah.
wait,
You feel lighter.
I think I'm supposed to tell people who I am really because I've been hiding this. So then that's when the Stern Show said, the last interview I ever did there, they were like, do you have any, they asked me all these questions before I do it. And then they go, is there anything else that you would want to say? And I was like, yeah, I might be bi. And the guy was like, I'm sorry, what was that? And I was like, oh, here we go.
Producer started jacking off. You're like, this is a gold
Really?
mine.
Oh, Jason can come back for sure now. Yeah, so then when that came out, and I wasn't sure who molested me. I thought it was my grandfather at one point. I was like, I just
that would have made sense.
I just couldn't say that it was him.
Yeah.
It just, I looked up to him so much.
Yeah, it's got to be
Like,
rough.
that's the person that I looked up to the most in my life.
And a lot of times abusers make it such. Like they make you their hero in a way of like in a combination between the abuse and like also like acting like a father figure, a leader figure for you so they have more control. And you're like, wait, so was that real or was that not?
I don't
That
see him as
confusion
like
fucks you up.
I still don't believe it as a plan. I just think it's a
Yeah.
reaction because I think that's
I
how I
agree.
was. I didn't have, you know what I mean, with these guys, I was just blowjobs.
Yeah.
But I would just pick, it was funny, I would pick like there was a time where I picked small Asian guys because my dad lost his business at one point and there was a small Asian guy that bought it and he was really mean to my father in front of me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's like a revenge face fuck?
I'd face fuck him and then get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
And they like that. This is not a thing that I started. This is a thing that guys would come over and just want to suck
be, like,
me
abused.
off. And I'm like, what is happening?
They can
like
relive
a fuck
something
toy,
in
yeah.
a safe situation. That's why kink is it can be really therapeutic because it's like, let's play pretend here, but you have to earn trust before you play pretend.
Yeah.
You have to. And then if you think about it, it's a more safer environment than just meeting a guy at a bar and drunkenly fucking him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The
So,
community is very mindful of rules and consent.
but anyway, my therapist broke that down to me and he was like, you're trying to relate to your childhood, you're trying to get your power back. The people that molested you, you're trying to get them back. And when I realized that, boy, did that take that away. Like,
This isn't fun anymore. I was just going to ask you.
Not fun. It would make me vomit. Like just the thought of it.
I was going to ask you if going to therapy
Interesting.
made certain sexual things less fun.
Fuck yeah. It ended that.
But so you
it
found
ended that.
more fun things, new fun things.
That's how I broke up with my wife because then I started to want to have a connection with the person. So my ex and I had a thing where I could sleep with people. Boys
emotionally
are
monogamous.
easier to sleep with when it comes to, oh, you're married, but I can still like blow you.
Right.
Cool. A girl's like, you're married? Like,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
want a
want
whole conversation. They don't believe
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So then whenever I would meet a girl that I would start to like and sleep with, my ex didn't really like that.
Yeah,
Even
she
though
wanted
the
you to
only
be-
way she could sleep with another guy was because they had a mental connection.
But that didn't threaten your sense of safety in
Sometimes
the
it
relationship.
did.
Yeah. And
Were
sometimes
there ground rules about that though? Like, or
Yeah.
what, like that you couldn't form an emotional connection? Or, I mean, it's kind of like you can say that, but then how can you actually
can't help
prevent it?
Yeah.
It
I mean,
didn't-
it's
it
only
didn't-
your job to stop it once it happens.
I don't think we discussed it enough how things evolved. And then I got way gayer.
Right.
Because I started to open up to it and accept it, and then meet some gay guys. You know, like butt fucking. Like the first time someone said, "Can you butt fuck me?" I was like, "Fuck off! It's so gay."
Right.
And then I was like,
that's the point.
maybe I should try it. You know. And then I was like, he looks like he's having fun. Maybe I should get butt fucked.
Yo, you got a treasure trove up your ass.
And then I did, and I was like, wait a minute, you can have multiple orgasms from getting things in your butt.
Yep.
Dudes,
Welcome, Jason.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm
Welcome.
not giving this up. I'm in. Like, I'm gonna be a butt fucking maniac. Like, teach me more.
I'm so happy to hear you say that because there was a point in the podcast where I was so too pro guys getting something up their ass because I'm like, I saw my boyfriend at the time was like found a prostate stimulator. I found a porn video of a guy using it. And he's like, that looks fun. I'm like, let's go.
Because it is. Yeah.
Let's go. And I watched him and I was like doing stuff to him while he had that in. You see a man come and you're like, wait, this gets me off. This will be in my spank bank for the rest of my life, how hard you're coming. And I'm like, I can't believe why would you think, why would you not do this activity because you're like, it's kind of gay. Who gives a fuck?
It's in my stand-up. I say it. I'm like, you know, I'm out here, like, I figured out how to, I learned how to wash my butt out. Like, I got like this metal hose thing on the shower, so it just washes out super quick and easy. And then, you know, it's only a couple people that I trust that do it to me. And I can have, like, I'm having orgasms that I can't have any other way.
Yeah.
So I love that you have a butt fucking rotation too.
I love that. Yeah.
But I can't.
A couple close butt fuckers.
I feel like when I first tried to get a finger in there, I could tell that there was a barrier of straightness. And that if I have jokes about it where to me it turned into a straight wrestler because I was like trying to get a finger up there and I was telling my butt like, hey butt, just let it go, man. And then my butt's like, fuck no, like exit only, because that's what straight homophobes say.
Sure.
And I was like, wait, what? You're my butt, like let me in. And it was like, no, dude, if things go in there, you're gonna have the gay. And that's bad.
The gay. Wow.
That's how I say it. I'm just trying to explain it to straight people because this is the easiest way to do it.
No, I love it.
But I could feel it. Like if something goes in there, I'm being a girl. Something's effeminate about me. This
Being
is not
penetrated.
right. But then when I finally was like, just let it go, it went in easier. And also once it went in easier, I was like, wait, what was that feeling? That's new. And that's good. Like that's a new, good feeling. Keep going. And then I'm like, okay, something's happening now that's never happened before. The first time I came, I make a joke about it, like girls have multiple orgasms and they say that they don't know how many times they come. Sometimes I've heard that. And I never analyzed it. I was just like, good for you, yay me. As a guy that comes one time, you think you would have analyzed that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But when this happened and I was like, I'm coming. And I looked down and no jizz and then again and again and again. And I'm like, okay, I officially don't know how many times I've come, and then I came. If and you guys don't want to do it because you think it's gay, you're gay.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
I'm the fucking man over here because I let things up my ass and I have like 7 jizzes in one jizz. And you're like, oh, you're a homo, Ellis. I'm like, dude, 7 jizzes sleeping like a gay baby. Like, fuck you
I
guys.
always found it so funny that certain men who are homophobic equated homosexuality with like femininity, where I'm like, that's one of the manliest things you could do as a man fucking another man.
I also
That's so
feel like
manly.
the more I get fucked, the more I know how to fuck. Like,
For
it
sure.
makes me better. Like, all the BDSM stuff I've done and all those things have taught me how to be nicer, or if I'm going to be firm, like how to do it in a way where it's not
Order people
painful,
around in a fun way.
penetrating people without just shoving it in there, fucking straight dudes.
What
Once
are
you've
some
had-
tips from that? Yeah.
One dude in my earlier butt fucking career did that, and he had a decent dick.
Oh,
And I
warm it
pulled
up.
away, and my hand clinched like I was gonna punch somebody. I was like, oh,
your fight or flight kicked in.
oh, don't ever do that. It was like some pain that, like, I felt it in my forehead.
Oh yeah.
Like my
Third eye was.
Yeah, he
your
ripped
future
my
lifetimes were in
third
pain.
eye.
Your next life, you're gonna have a weird thing with your butt and not
But
know
then
why.
every time I ever put my penis in anything, I baby it because I'm
Yes.
like, I don't want to ever be that person.
no one. It's never good to just go
But
in.
it made
Gotta
me
ease it
realize
in.
like there were times in my younger day where
did
I
that.
for sure did that.
Yeah.
Oh, every woman who sleeps with men have had that happen to them many times. The jackhammering.
I was just about to say jackhammer. Come on, Kyle.
What the fuck?
Lay off the monster and like feel it. Like
Yes,
fuck her
be
soul.
here. Yeah.
Don't fuck her pussy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wow. So you still sleep with women too?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, good
I
for
still
you.
love women the most.
Yeah. Good, as you
Thanks.
should. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
still like.
We
I
approve.
was telling my manager, like, if a hot girl walks by, I try not to look at her because I don't want to be inappropriate. But I have to tell myself not to.
Yeah.
If a hot guy walks by, I don't have to tell myself not
do
to
whatever the
look
fuck
at
you
him.
want, yeah.
I don't really care.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So, but when it comes to sex, when we're all naked, it's pretty hard to, beat a hard dick. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's
So
and
like
it's,
trans girls and guys too now.
Yeah.
Maybe more. I think trans guys
well,
is
I
kind of
imagine
my
trans
thing.
people are like very in touch with their body because they've been through an evolution with their body.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, you're like really present.
Yeah, to me, there's like levels, like skateboarding and fighting and stuff. Like, there's, you got your stock people, and to me, it's like, you like soap shoes and Heelys, and then there's like people that
Heelys.
like skate on the weekends, and then there's pros.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The level is like no, they ain't playing.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like you got stock people in bed, and you got people that like a little kink, and then people that have less in a bit, like, because to me it's the what if someone sees, or what if someone tells somebody that I was into this, like it's in their own head. Because I've had sex with a couple of straight normal girls lately, and I'm thinking to myself while it's happening, why did you want to do this?
What was wrong with it? It just
They're not in my head.
They're not present?
They're not there.
Yeah.
They're like, I really want it, and I'm like, but I'm here.
Right.
Like you're just taking it for the story.
Yeah. Or just like, I think a lot of women, like, that's why a lot of women, especially in their 20s, will like get drunk before they have sex almost every
Yeah.
single time because they don't know how to enjoy it and be present.
Yeah.
It's tricky to be present. It's very vulnerable. Very vulnerable.
It is, but if you're not there, I'm not doing
Yeah.
it.
Then you're
it
fucking
doesn't make
adults.
any sense anymore. It's like jerking off almost now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, you're
yeah.
not with me. You're just like, did we do it? Was it good? I'm like, what do you mean? Was it? You should have been there.
Oh,
Yeah.
asking if it's good to me is like so. It feels so like they're being performative. Then because just like,
Yeah.
well, you should be able to know how it was for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know that I've always been good at knowing who's going to be good in bed with me.
Oh, so you usually have good calls with that, good radar?
Yeah, I don't
Nice.
go for textbook. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
whoa,
why I say I
that
like the
girl's
weird
stunning,
guys.
and I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
I know what that's going to be like in bed.
Little fish.
Wait,
Dead
you
fish.
can tell by just looking at someone or by a small
Fuck yeah.
interaction.
Looking at him.
That really?
Yeah.
Well, you take in their energy when you look at them, I
Yeah.
imagine.
You
Yeah.
have like a Google image search, or you have to see them in
Nah, in
person.
person.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I see.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you started actually having sexual interactions with men?
Well, I had a couple of things that happened when I was really young. It's weird. I got
consensual,
unless okay. So once I got to
not
about,
including
I
that.
think once I got to about 14, there was one of my skateboard buddies blew me out of nowhere at his house.
Wow.
His mum walked in. He like turned around and like acted like he wasn't sucking my dick, and I was just sitting there like, and
he's
she's like, sandwiches are for you. Come out, please. And I was like, she saw it.
Is that person gay or
I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know him.
We don't know
It was a
anymore.
long time ago.
Men are so
I
much
was
more
just
fluid
curious
than they
how
allow
that-
themselves
yeah.
to be.
Then I had another friend. I don't want to get too into the story because people would figure it out, but I was around 17 and he blew me in a jacuzzi with no warning. We were best friends. And I'm like, what the
Wow.
fuck? And remember we were not sleeping with women. We were, somewhere where that wasn't. We were skating.
Right.
There was no girls around, and I was like, okay,
Next best thing.
I just
Yeah.
let it happen.
Yeah.
And I never really thought much about it.
Yeah.
And I guess a couple of times we blew each other,
Yeah.
maybe 3 times all up, something like that.
Yeah.
Because we didn't live anywhere, we didn't have our own house. It was just like a thing where when we weren't talking and then he'd start to do it and I'd be like, yeah, okay.
I guess so, yeah.
I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
And then I think the first time it really happened was a trans girl. I took a bunch of ecstasy and I was at a big dinner with a bunch of other skateboarders in Australia. And this big tall girl comes in and she's really pretty. She looked like Elle McPherson. Like, she was real tall, supermodel, like lanky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. And she sits down across the table from me and everyone goes, this is so-and-so. And she's looking at me and I'm like looking at her. And she's looking at me and I'm like, okay, it's on.
Yeah.
It's already on.
It's already
I'm
fucking
like,
in your
I'm like,
eyes.
this is like really happening. And she's like, do you want to go? And I was like, yes.
Nice.
And I had a girlfriend at the time and we had an open relationship and I was like, I'm going to go. She's like, yeah, go on.
Oh, nice.
And then she ended up, my other skateboard buddy was like, oh, he's going with her, then I could go with you because we used to swap sometimes.
Nice.
And she'd already got sick of him and she was like, no, I don't want to do that. So he took that as fuck me. And so many years, I think like 2 years later in America, he decided to not be my friend anymore and tell everybody that I fucked this person. And I denied it because in skateboarding at the time, people said, hey man, I heard you're a fag.
Really?
Right.
But I know it's not true because I know you and you like hang out with like all these chicks. Because I was a womanizer a little bit. Like I was a dude's dude. Like I skated very aggressively. Like I was more manly than most of the men of skateboarding.
You were shattering this version of masculinity that these people were probably clinging to.
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I denied it, and there was a few people that said, "Look, man, I mean, I know you're not, but if you were a fag, like we wouldn't be cool. Know that." And I was like, "Yeah, obviously." But then that, knowing that I still wasn't sure what I was. I couldn't say I'm gay. I couldn't say I'm bi. It wasn't the word yet.
Right.
I was just like, I do stuff sometimes that's kind of gay. You know what I mean? But I want to marry a lady. Like I want to have a baby. You know, like but so it was I was confusing as to what I was, and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. All I did was deny it, and it got so heavy that the guy kept saying it to people, and there was like altercations. My friends were fighting his friends.
Oh my God.
So I moved back to Australia and retired because I couldn't take it anymore.
Wow.
So I kind of ended my career. I got on heroin, like overdose. Yeah, I did heroin.
When
with
you
these-
suppress a part of yourself like that, you turn to drugs.
when I lived in Australia, there was no pro skateboarders, so nobody went to the ramp with me, and I was by myself all day because anybody I knew was either dead from heroin or had jobs. And they were like, I'm like, hey man, what are you doing at like 12? And they're like, I'm at work, you fucking idiot. And I'm like, oh,
Animal.
yeah, man, that's gotta suck. You know what I mean? I'm just smoking weed, trying to get some ecstasy. Like, it's like I got no job. I get paid to skate.
Yeah.
And then I started doing heroin. I just get hookers because I get drunk, go to this real sketchy place where everyone's a junkie. And I would get a blowjob for $50, and then they're like, I started to realize they're all on heroin. I'm like, what's this heroin all about? Let me get some.
What you got in the syringe?
So she taught me how to chase the dragon.
What's that?
You put heroin on foil and you light it underneath, and you got a pen in your mouth, and you just suck the smoke up.
Okay.
So that would get me pretty high to the point where I started vomiting. I would go to a parking lot on the beach and smoke it all and vomit, and then go back to the house and act like nothing happened. And then I had enough. I hated my life so much. I was like, I'm getting 2 hookers and I'm going to let them inject it. I was like, hey, you guys want to, and they were like, because I was like, can you get some heroin? And they're like, are you a cop? Because I didn't know it. I didn't know. I didn't say smack.
Too eager, too dorky about it.
I was just,
hey guys, you have a heroin?
Hey, you 2 ladies got a heroin? And they're like, no. But eventually I convinced them, and I had a bunch of money with me, and I got heroin. And I remember thinking, like, they're not going to shoot me up with a lot because they're going to want it.
Okay.
But I couldn't do it. They had to do it, but I was fucking one of them while the other one injected me. And I remember going, oh, wow, this is really happening. And then I'm gone. I'm gone.
Well, shit, huh?
Yeah. And then I wake up up against a kid's playground.
Oh.
Asleep in the dark in a park. That was a lot of those. But I woke up, so I was out. So I could have died.
Yeah.
And
I'm
they
so glad
dragged
you're
me to
alive.
this park. And when I started to walk out of the park, I realized where I was. And it was like, you don't want to be there. And it was like 4 a.m. and I'm just an unconscious kid up against this wall. And then I reached my wallet. My wallet's empty. So they robbed me and somebody dragged me out there to die. And I was like, okay, that's it. You need to not do that ever again.
Right.
So I never did heroin ever again. And then that's when ESPN were like, hey, do you want to do some stuff for X Games?
You're like, great timing, because I just quit heroin and I
was
need
like, you know
something else to
what? I think I'll go back to America. I think the dust settled from the, is he gay thing.
Right.
Because that guy had started to kind of drop off a little bit and people didn't care as much. And then I got a whole new career, started hanging out with, that's when Tony and I knew Tony Hawk, but we went on tour together and it was a really odd friendship where I was like, you're tweaked. Because he was kind of he taught me, I don't know. He was like, you know what a cat in a bathtub is? And I'm like, no. And he's like, man, I hope I don't get in trouble. He's like,
What is
you
it?
try to put your dick and your balls in the pussy.
Oh, I've heard of that. I just didn't know it's called that.
I didn't think he.
I didn't even know
I
it
don't
was a
think he's
thing.
done it. I just said he
One of
thought
those
that was
urban
funny.
legends.
Made me go.
It's fine. It's
You little
funny.
freak.
You're
I like
pretty fucking
you.
cool, man.
I like this guy.
That was a really, really bad way to explain how a friendship became.
No.
But
Now, if you're fucked up though, and you meet somebody and they say something, you're like, and you thought they were like a little clean cut,
Yeah.
and they reveal themselves to find that shit funny. I'm like, oh, you're my brother now. You're my
that's
family.
what happened. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we became really good friends from that, and then things started to turn around again.
Wow.
So
Wow, what a journey.
What a life.
Is your temper good, or does it still come up?
Well, except for when he's around Lewis.
Well, I have a
I don't
temper.
have a temper around Lewis.
I have a
I mean,
temper.
oh no, I did. I
yeah, I was
flipped
like
out.
online a little bit.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. So
It's okay. Everyone has a temper.
Yeah.
around.
But the difference is, I called him after it and said, "I lost it. Like
Yeah.
you don't understand. Like I've been
No,
training for
everyone
this
was
thing,
on your side. We've all been there.
and you can and you're lying to people saying you're pulling out because your knees hurt. Like you don't want to fight, even though you picked this fight.
Right.
And I spent 2 years. Like I don't play that
shit.
game. Like if I'm gonna fight, I don't care how good you are. I'm
Yeah.
ready to beat the best guy there is. Like you're not beating me. Like this is one time. Like you're getting white, and more so, I'm gonna make a thing about you. Like people are gonna be like, don't pick fights with Jason.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's not a game. Like
Yeah.
if you fight me, you're gonna get really hurt.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do that. That's the other thing. The older I get, the less I'm into that. Like I used to, when I first started fighting, I had a lot of anger. My coach was a very violent man, and I thought that fighting was like I fought to knock people out every Thursday and Friday. You know, so I knocked people out and then went to work. So it wasn't a big deal. Like I didn't think that I was hurting you. I didn't know about CTE or CTI or whatever, any
Right.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
So then, things evolve, you get to know, and I'm like, wait, that guy's mean. Like, I don't want to hurt people.
Yeah.
And then when I got way older, the last fight I had, I was like, I'm training and doing jiu-jitsu and learning things. And it's like you get to a certain point where if I pull this a little further, I'm going to rip your arm, like I'm going to break your arm.
Yeah.
And I remember my coach going, you think that the guy that gets your arm is not going to do that? Like, this is a fight, man. When I realized that, I was like,
There's fucking rules.
yeah, I don't like ripping my arm to shreds seems like really over the top and unnecessary.
Self-destructive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then it turns out in the fight, like at the very end of the fight, he beat me up in the first round, almost knocked me out. Didn't know where I was for like 2 minutes. Jeez. But then I got back in it. And at the very end, I got him in an arm and I started to tear it and things started to pop.
Oh.
And I said, tap. I screamed at him, tap, tap. And I had to keep pulling it.
'Cause he wouldn't
And it was
tap.
so funny because I told somebody that story that I just told you, like the thing that made me really realize, like, this is no joke, like you're going to be permanently injured from this. And this guy's going to be happy about it. Like, deal with that. And then there I am, and I can feel his arm popping like a tree branch. And then he just started screaming. And he didn't tap. He just screamed to the point where the ref goes, "That's a verbal tap, and you win." But I won with like 2 seconds left in the end of the the
Wow.
whole thing.
Jesus.
But that was, I don't want to fight anymore. But
Yeah.
Lewis was, I want to fight, and I'm like, Lewis wants to fight because Lewis wants to know what it's like to be a fighter. And I love that because that's why I did it. When I started pro fighting, I was like 38. It was
Wow.
way past my prime.
Oh.
But I wanted to just feel it. And then I've also had fights with some famous people at Ellis Mania that are like high level UFC guys where
Cool.
I kind of knew I was going to get my ass handed to
Yeah.
me, but I wanted to see if I could like give him a fucking
Just
run. You know what I mean?
hang.
Like,
Yeah.
because there was like Carl Kingsbury was like a UFC. He's like 230 when I fought him. I hit him a couple of times where he was like, Jesus. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you can
what
finish,
you needed. Yeah.
finish me.
Yeah.
Just,
Right. I
just
just
know,
wanted to get that.
you know what I mean? Like, if you fuck with me, you're going to get bit.
Yeah.
That's all. I want respect. That's all I want. I want to win. I want your respect. Like Shane Carwin knocked me out. I didn't stand a chance. I did terrible against him. But he was like, you are fucking crazy.
Right.
Like you were like,
You're like-
knock me out.
Right.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm trying to, let's go. Let's live. You know what I mean? Let's go full tilt on everything. And Lewis was trying to do that. And I was like, I'm a perfect guy for you.
Yeah.
I'm better than you. And if you beat me, that looks awesome for you.
Right.
And if you get beat by me, it's not that bad. I'm better than you.
Sure.
Right.
And I respected it. So I wanted to give him that opportunity because somebody gave me that opportunity.
Yeah.
But then it turned into he said, she said, and then I got skanks hate. I'm like, what? I love Lewis. He backed down the fight. I'm angry about it. Fuck you. You know, like.
And you're allowed to be, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be
but
pissed
like
too.
I said, I did apologize, and I do regret that. And I told the Jay about it and everybody, and we ended up patching it up and being friends again because, yeah, that was totally inappropriate, and I hate that guy.
Yeah.
I really
The guy who
do.
came out, yeah.
It's
So
just-
how do you earn respect now? Like if you're not fighting, if you're not, what's your approach for earning respect?
I don't care about it.
You just don't care about it.
It's wise.
love
That's how
that.
you earn it.
Yeah, I respect myself. That's what I work on. I work on every day having a reason to respect myself. Because that guy's still in there, that addict. He'll let you, I mean, you're a piece of shit. You're amounting to nothing. I fight him every day. And I do great things every day. So that helps. You know, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, you suck. I'm like, do ya? Check your Instagram. Does that look like a guy that sucks? I mean, how many hot bitches did you plow this week?
Wow.
And how happy were they?
We were about to end on something so poetic,
Sorry.
and then we wrapped
No,
it
I'm
right
glad.
around.
Hot guys too.
Perfect reference.
Everybody's happy.
Everyone's getting fucked by Jason Ellis.
You're gonna go
And they're going to come so many times. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, in between, you're coming multiple times
Sorry.
because I will earn your respect.
Sorry.
No, that was perfect. Don't ever plug it. It's
Amazing. What
It's
an
a great
episode.
interview.
Plug whatever you want to plug.
The Jason Ellis Show. It's free. It's a podcast. And then Hawk versus Wolf is a podcast I do with Tony Hawk. And then I have Patreon because I do 5 shows a week on there.
Wow.
And that's patreon.com/EllisMate.
Thank you so much.
And if you go to thejasonellis.com, you can see my comedy dates because I'm a fucking comedian.
You really do it all. You do
I'm
it
so
all.
pumped on that. That's my favorite
You do
thing.
you do everything and everyone, and that's a little
the
bit
point,
about
right?
you.
Yeah.
You're a real man of the people.
Slip into my DMs, world.
Yeah. Challenge accepted. You're going to get a lot.
Wow, this has been Guys We Fcked, the anti-slut shaming podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday. Bye.